Hey everybody, my name is Poofles, and you could say I'm a little rich in Wild Horse Islands. And the other day, an idea came to me. What if I started over? How long would it take for me to get from ground zero to where I am now? Could I do it again? Let's find out! A quick bit of information before the video starts. This video was filmed during the winter and holiday events, so I will be putting quite a bit of emphasis on collecting event coins and hunting for event horses. This is honestly one of the best times for a new player to start because event accessories and horses are your ticket into the trading economy. The winter and holiday events are going on until January 10th, so if you are interested in joining the game, now's the time to do it. Alright, let's begin this adventure. On day one, I hopped onto my brand new Roblox account and jumped into the game for the very first time. We are dumped on Tutorial Island, where I say hi to Nancy and catch my very first horse, an Appaloosa, who I promptly name Human Skin. Then it's off to mainland for the first time. I immediately start gathering some basic resources and grinding quests for Toby the fisherman to level up my account. Then I saw something in chat. ABC for a free Clyde, must be under level 30. Well, Chucky darn, I happen to meet that criteria and I want a free Clyde, so I run over to Larry to meet the owner. Unfortunately, a small crowd of people have assembled for this free horse. I realized that I was barely under trading level, but luckily Human Skin needed a brush, and that kicked me up to level 10. Instead of giving out the horse then and there, the owner decided to host a competition on their island. As we all filter over to the island, the owner decides to let more people compete and decides to completely do away with the under level 30 rule. At this point, I'm having an existential crisis. I look at the other horses with their fancy outfits, I look at Human Skin, and I begin to lose hope. Then the person just leaves the game. I began a sad walk back to Toby. Disappointed I just wasted about an hour of my time, when a kind soul who I was just competing with for the Clyde hunted me down, gifted me a few accessories, and a legacy coat Clyde that I decided to name.
Hey, let me know.
On top of that, they also bought me 2 horses from Hogan. Thank you, Emmy, you are such a sweetheart. Taking my brand new horse, I got back to questing for Toby. I picked up his shipment of fishing rods and hauled them back up the mountain, picking up as many resources as I could on the way. Upon delivery, Toby lets me keep one of the fishing rods as payment. I also achieve 100 bond with my horse. Then it's off to Blizzard Island, which I actually gained access to at level 5, but got distracted with other things. I immediately start chopping down trees in an attempt to get a snowball for my collection log and collect an achievement for collecting 25 resources. Then I remember that there are actually piles of snow around the map that are way easier to find than chopping down trees, so I move on to collecting other resources. Each island you unlock gives you access to new resources that you can use to craft better lassos and better tack for your horses. On Blizzard Island, I am able to collect copper and bronze, which is a much needed improvement from the tin I have been using. I also gain access to a new questing NPC, Hubert. I start doing quests for Hubert thinking that he will give me the next important quest item, the fireworks. Spoiler alert, that's not actually how you get those. But I did get an achievement for earning 10 quest points. Eventually, I hit level 20, which grants me access to Forest Island. Now I'm able to get iron and silver ore. On Forest, I also capture my 5th wild horse. I also meet Jones, the resident old man of Forest Island. If I do enough quests for him, he will give me a special shovel that lets me hunt for buried treasure. For now though, he wants me to go catch 6 horses on Blizzard Island. I hop on the boat, craft some lassos out of the resources I scrounge up, and head out on my hunt. I honestly forgot how bad hunting in a public server was, especially on the lower level islands. It just feels like the horses do not exist. You almost have to camp out the horse spawns and snatch them up the second they spawn. On my short hunt on Blizzard, I achieve 250 bond with my horses and harvest my 100th resource. Once I catch my 6th horse, I am rewarded with 30 XP, 12 rope, and 350 coins. Then, instead of going back to Jones like I should have, I start questing for Hubert again, still thinking he will give me the fireworks. While on a fetch quest to mainland, I stop by Abby to see if she has any winter accessories I could buy. Lucky for me, she has a snowy white and yellow pearl top hat that I quickly grab and put on.
Hey, let me know.
He looks very dapper in his new hat. After a few more quests, I hit level 45, which unlocks our first mid-tier island, Royal. Royal Island is incredibly important, but it introduces our first redemption system. All around Royal Island, you can find archaeological deposits that can be turned into Cal for some very cool and, most importantly, expensive prizes. But before we can work on this, I desperately need a better horse. I picked up a thoroughbred, which even untrained was so much faster than—
Hey, let me know.
Sorry, buddy. I dump half my money into her stats, and even then, she's still not the best, but it's a massive improvement. Day 2 was short but productive. I finally realized that I could not get the fireworks from Hubert, and instead had to get them from saving Toby's grandpa on mainland. My game glitched a little bit, but after leaving and rejoining, Grandpa was free and I had a new set of explosives. Then I set my focus on the treasure shovel. This quest is easier said than done. Jones needs me to activate a beacon at the northernmost point of the island, but when I get there, the beacon is nowhere to be found. There's also no quest marker on my map to show me where it may be. I flounder around a little bit, trying to find the missing beacon, and eventually find it on the beach near the North Dock, which is not at the northernmost point of the island, but it's fine. It's important to note that Forest Island may look like this now, but it used to look like this. The beacon was originally located at the top of the tree, but I think they simply just forgot to move it when they changed the island. But I got back to Jones, and he gave me a new fancy shovel that leads us to hidden treasure. They actually redid the treasure hunting mechanic very recently, and it is so much easier. We actually have an arrow to follow now, and we don't have to listen to that annoying beeping. We fish up our first treasure chest and take it back to Jones, finishing the quest. Logging in on day 3, I was greeted by people freaking out about Canadian tornadoes for some reason, but my mood was quickly remedied when I acquired a snowman saddle pad from the shop. Today, I really wanted to focus on training my still unnamed thoroughbred, so I headed over to the training hub, grabbed a quest from Stephanie, and started training her up. After a little while, I decided we finally needed to give this girl a name and attack set, and I had the perfect idea in mind. I headed to Sweetie's hair and dye shop and picked up 2 bottles of pink hair dye. I slapped those bad boys on her mane and tail, and then brought her back over to the shop to get her hair styled. Then I gave her a name fitting of her brand new pink hair. Pink Pilates Pop Princess. I bought some leather and crafted a pink tack set for her in the highest tier I could, which was only clear quartz. It doesn't match as well as I wish it did, but I didn't have any peaches for baby pink, so normal pink has to do. With my new girly pop horse, I head back to Training Island to train her to her full potential. After a few hours of training, Pink Pilates Pop Princess's stats are looking great. I also have a good amount of training receipts to give to Steven. I get a peppermint, a couple of mouth jolly balls, a few Training Island unique accessories, some treasure chests, a couple very cute cowboy hats, a rose gray Appaloosa, a couple pairs of hoof trails, and a couple mouth dumbbells. I also buy Pink Pilates Pop Princess the deep breaths trait with the skill points I have acquired, so she regenerates stamina faster. I then head to my island, upgrade my market a few times, and set my cowboy hats for sale at a very reasonable price. Now that my horse is trained, I set out to finish the 10 quests for Cal, so I can begin redeeming unidentified relics. While questing, I managed to catch a few rare horses, such as a gray Percheron and a gray Andalusian. Finally, after the 10th quest, I head up to Cal, and even though his neck appeared to be broken, I was still able to redeem my relics. I got a really pretty jester hat and some purple hoof trails. Then I discovered that I actually could have been going to Desert Island since day 2! Desert unlocks at level 60, and I am well past that. After extensively searching the footage, I can say that I never got a pop-up for it. Putting my anger aside, I traveled to Desert Island and collect the golden rubies I could have gotten hours ago! I had to take a break for a couple of days after that one. Day 4 was actually Wild Horse Island's birthday, so I received a cute yellow birthday balloon when I logged in and popped it onto Pink Pilates Pop Princess. Also, the holiday event is now live, so I can catch reindeer, fawn horses, and the brand new Gin gingerbread Arabian. There are also new accessories that I can get, such as these gingerbread jumping boots I bought from Abby. Then I hopped right back onto desert to continue where I left off. I end up catching my first event horse, a gray reindeer, and then I head over to desert's local nomad named Ruby to start completing quests. On Royal Island, I find a reindeer for sale for fairly cheap, so I snatch it up. I also witnessed this random cloud of snow. On day 5, I was very sick. My nose had been running nonstop for days, so my skin was absolutely raw. I felt and looked great. Immediately, as I start the day, I find an emperor, penguin, and illusion and a black reindeer for sale, and I buy them both. I also purchase a third gray reindeer. This Blizzard Hogan was running a great sale that day. Then I head back to desert to complete questing with Ruby. I finally get tasked to complete the desert bridge that Ruby's husband was trying to complete when he mysteriously fell. I head over to Blizzard to borrow some tools from Hubert, head back to the unfinished bridge, which I immediately fall off of. Maybe Ruby's husband didn't die so mysteriously. Well, the bridge is done, so I go return the tools for Hubert. He thanks me for returning his tools and then warns me to be careful of Ruby. My murder suspicions are back. Murder or not, Ruby pays us for our work, and now we have a beautiful bridge across the canyon we can use anytime. I do a few more quests until I hit level 150, unlocking Mountain Island. I was super excited to unlock Mountain for a few reasons. One being the huge amount of horse spawns on the island, and another being for the diamond and sapphire that can be found in its caves. At this point, I was desperate for some good resources for lassos, so I put on Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift and I stuck myself in a cave. After a good little while, I crawl out of the cave, and what do I see? My sick self was utterly baffled, gobsmacked, and most of all embarrassed that I now had to record my face. This is crazy, man. Dude, I'm sick as heck and I look like trash, but we just caught an IUH, let's go! I can't believe that just happened. I can't believe that just happened. I caught it before I caught an event horse on this account! Do I even continue the video? Like, I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. Dude, Bob, come here, come here, come here. I just caught an IUH in a public server. These things are so rare, and I caught it on my alt account. The last IUH I caught was like a year ago.
Oh wow, Addie.
I can't believe that just happened. I was literally just in this cave mining stuff because I wanted resources, and then I walk out and I was like, oh, I should probably start horse hunting. I have one lasso. I have one lasso.
Maybe you need to do it more often, sister. I don't know.
This is crazy. Oh my gosh. I've been rubbing Vaseline on my nose the entire day because I can't stop blowing my nose. I look great right now, and I had to record my face. I'm in my pajamas with Vaseline on my face. And I sound like I'm dying. And I have to put this into a YouTube video now! Ah! Alright gamers, that's where I'm gonna end this video for today. There is a ton more content that we can explore in this game, so let me know if you want me to make part 2. This video took me a really long time to make, so please leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Alright guys, I'll see you another time. Have a good one. Bye!